going on, MMA fans? I'm here to do a video entitled Tyson Griffin, Legitimate Contender. I was asked by Humble King 718 to do a topic on this because he's doing, I guess, a similar topic on his MMA Insight videos. But I was also asked by several people and a couple messages that were sent to me to talk about Tyson Griffin, so I figured, why not? I'll go ahead and do a video on this and go in depth about it, because really the question that was asked was a good topic. Where does Tyson Griffin come from as a fighter, and where does he stand in the lightweight division as far as the title picture is concerned? So, briefly, let's run over Tyson Griffin real quick. Wrestled in high school, wrestled in junior college, transitioned from Muay Thai and boxing into MMA. Really, he's become one of those guys that has become an exciting fighter. I mean, he's really becoming well-rounded, and he just soaks up everything that he learns like a sponge. I really compare him to, similarly to Josh Koscheck. Josh Koscheck has done that very, very well in MMA, and has just, everything that he learns, he does the same thing. He just soaks everything up, since joining up with AKA. But, Tyson Griffin, of course, jumping in with Extreme Couture. A lot of people don't realize that he has an underrated ground game, and he has the uncanny ability to just scramble so well on the ground, and that's really what makes the fights exciting. If you're into the ground game, if you love the technical chess matches of what happens on the ground, I mean, you get to see that with Tyson Griffin. He's become a better striker, well-rounded on the ground, very good wrestler. Great endurance, great cardio, and great heart. Last 4 fights, of course, Clay Guida, Thiago Tavares, Gleison Tebow, Marcus Aurelio. So he's on a 4-fight win streak right now, which really does put him up in the upper echelon of the lightweight division. He probably will be one of the guys vying for the #1 contender spot behind Kenny Florian and Roger Huerta after their fight. So really, Tyson has... from the point, earlier in his career to now, one of the few guys to knock out Uriah Faber, earlier in his career, he really has progressed a lot as a fighter and a lot in his game. I mean, like I said, he's becoming more well-rounded, and it shows in his fights. So, he really has progressed a lot since the point of when he came into MMA to now. And it shows in his fight. So, really, where he, lines up in the lightweight title picture, like I said, he's probably vying for the #1 contender spot behind Kenny Florian and Roger Huerta after their fight. There's a couple fights that make sense for him right now that really would bump him up into that. One would be Nate Diaz after he fights Josh Neer. If Nate Diaz wins that fight, there's a fight that could be put on, Tyson Griffin, Nate Diaz. You've got Rich Clemente, who's on a 4-fight win streak, beating Anthony Johnson, Terry Adam, Melvin Guillard, Sam Stout. Another guy that you could put up there against Tyson Griffin. Matt Wyman, his big knockout over Thiago Tavares, his win over Justin Buchholz and Michihiro Omagawa. There's another guy you could put up there. And especially, depending on, like I said, with the Nate Diaz fight, he's got the big wins over Kurt Pellegrino, Alvin Robinson, Junior Suncal, and Manny Gamburin, even though the Manny Gamburin fight was a shoulder separation. But those are big wins for Nate Diaz. So there's you really could put either... The 2 top guys right now that I see, at least, are Rich Clemente and Nate Diaz. That really are the guys that they really should line the fights up with. You could throw Sean Shirk in there too. Sean Shirk's on the way down from losing to BJ Penn. That would be a tough fight for Tyson Griffin and a real test of if he's really ready to get up in that, that upper echelon of that division, vying for a #1 contender spot for a title shot. He beats a guy like Shirk, who's got, some of the best wrestling in that division as far as with his cardio and just taking guys out of their game when he gets them down. That's definitely a solid fight. So, really, I think Tyson Griffin is not at a title shot yet. He's getting there. The next fight, really, for him is the tall tale sign of if he's ready for the upper echelon of the division. You give him a fight like Nate Diaz, you give him a fight like Rich Clemente, you give him a fight like Sean Shirk, you're going to see what he's made of. Each of these are different matchups. Nate Diaz, I think he would do fairly well against Nate Diaz. Rich Clemente, I think he does fairly well against Rich Clemente. I think he can take him down and at will and be able to stay out of submissions. But I also think he would try to keep that fight standing and just outbox Rich Clemente. Sean Shirk, same thing, try to keep the fight standing. But that's a tough fight. Sean Shirk would be a really, really tough fight for Tyson Griffin. So those are 3 good fights for him. Does that propel him to a title shot? That's up to interpretation. I think really 2 fights should really give him the edge of getting him to a title shot. Give him a guy like Nate Diaz, Rich Clemente, then give him another person to fight, and then give him a shot. I think that's really how I look at it. But you could make the argument that if he beats one more strong guy, he's right there. He's right there with anybody in this division. And the top guys right now are definitely Nate Diaz, Rich Clemente, Sean Shirk. If Sean Shirk beats someone on his way back up through the 155 ladder, you could throw Gray Maynard in there, Matt Wyman, like I said, and you really could get a true test for Tyson Griffin in this division. So I think he's a legitimate contender. I think he's up there. I think he's up in the upper echelon of the division right now, but I don't think he's up at that spot just yet. 1 or 2 more fights, and Tyson Griffin is right there, without a doubt, in that division. So really, right now, besides Roger Huerta and Kenny Florian, there's no one really right there. So yes, Tyson Griffin would naturally fall into that void, but I still think he needs just a couple more fights to really get him there. Nonetheless, that's how I looked at Tyson Griffin. He is a legitimate contender. He is in the upper echelon division, the upper echelon of the division, and he's either going to get a title shot after this next fight, or maybe they're going to give him one more fight after that. We'll see what happens. So I want to give a shout out real quick to 2 guys. Actually, it's 3 guys technically, but first of all to the new MMA analyst, Karsten, who is doing videos on Jeremy's channel after Jeremy left YouTube. Check his videos out. He's done already an Affliction Band predictions video. He talked about the light heavyweight division. Funny guy. He already is very humble. I've talked to him via private messaging. Very, very nice guy. Very funny guy. Very knowledgeable as well. So check out the new MMA analyst. He's doing a great job, and I look forward to seeing great things from him. Also, I want to give a shout out to the Hardcore MMA Fan Show. They're also known as MMAFanzShow. I'm going to put the links up to both of these guys over on this side so you can check them out. But they just started doing videos. They actually sent me a message saying, check out our videos. And both these guys, they seem very knowledgeable to me as far as MMA is concerned, and with the UFC. They may be newer to the sport. Some of the stuff that I've seen with their videos, you can see that they're newer guys into the sport. They know most of the fighters, or some that they don't know, but very, very great concept. I love how they're doing it with the background and presenting it like it's actually a show, and really just getting out there as a fan and putting their knowledge out as a fan, and the way that they do it, I really like it. But they are knowledgeable guys, no doubt about it. So check out their videos as well. Very, very nice guys. Again, they've private messaged me as well. I've talked to them. So check out their videos. Check out the new MMA Analyst videos, and leave me some comments on this video, constructive, negative, positive. And on that note, you guys have a great day.